Ash, you've been with the New Saints now for about 2 seasons.
Yeah.
How did it all happen in the first place for you?
It's a bit of a crazy story, to be fair. It's just come up on one of my social media pages that they were looking for coaches. Me just sent an email. Jason sent out a big media campaign asking for coaches. I was part of the football coaching degree, and for me it's a massive club, and it still is now. Being from Wrexham, I knew what everything was going on up here. So I sent an email, got an interview, and within a couple of weeks I was starting with the under-10s, which was for me a massive thing. So it's really, really good.
And things have moved on very much since that initial involvement with TNS, and you're now the head of the foundation phase. Yeah,
it's moved on a bit quickly, to be fair. It's all come into place. Within 2 seasons I've gone from just being under 10s coach to full-time head of foundation phase, under 9s and under 12s coach, which is really, really good. And obviously it's the way I wanted to go in my career, because I want to be full-time in football. Doing my degree in football coaching as well, it links hand in hand with everything I'm doing up here, and it's great to put everything I've learned into practice too.
And away from the club, but very much linked with it, you've been doing a degree course as well.
Yeah, just finished my Bachelor of Science in Glyndor University. 3 years in doing that one, which was really, really, really fun and enjoyable. And I think it taught me a lot of things that I didn't see away from being on the pitch. The mental side, whether it be mental health or just the way, like the decision-making process of players, how many things they have to take in when they're doing certain activities on the pitch, tactically, different formations, and my B licence, which I did with the course too. So lots of different things. It was really good, to be fair. Really good.
Involved with young people, there's a lot more than just saying go out there and have a good time, isn't there?
Definitely. It's there's a lot going on in there, away from football as well as during the football, so it's good to understand both sides of it.
And being full-time now with the New Saints, you're not the only full-time academy coach, you're part of a team.
Yes, it's good. It's good to get challenged as well on a day-to-day basis, and having good coaches around you to kind of rub ideas up with, or just see what they think as well as the players think, so it's good. Really good.
Well, we work here at the office where we are now. Of course, you're on the next table up from us, and as coaches you're often engaged in football related conversation. How important is the relationship that not only you have but also the other coaches have with each other in terms of the big picture flowing smoothly?
It's really good, because if we're all comfortable with each other, it's a very social environment, but at the same time that you know that someone's not going to have a go at you. They're purely challenging you and what your beliefs are, and what you want to do as a coach. And I feel like if I wasn't getting challenged, I wouldn't improve. Every day pretty much I've got a session plan that I'm giving into someone, saying what would you change, what would you do better. And because of the experience and the quality of the coaches we've got here, especially the full-time coaches, I feel like I'm getting some real good information back, which is improving me personally, which is good.
You've been here 2 seasons. In some ways that's not a long time, but in football terms that is quite some movement that you've been through as an individual. How have you seen your own personal character development, your own attitude to the game change?
I feel like when I first came in, I didn't really have a philosophy. A lot of people's philosophy comes by watching football. For me, it's probably playing on games, or FIFA games when I was younger. I like exciting football. I like playing good football, but for me I didn't know what that was, and by coming here I developed it to the point now that I feel like I could actually give a team some sort of structure and a philosophy really to play off, as well as that we obviously had the TNS DNA, but I feel like I've got my kind of spin on that now, which is it's a little bit different but at the same time very similar to everyone else's, but that's what everyone does, and it's really, really good. I feel individually as well that I'm more confident talking to people, groups of people. 2 years ago I definitely wouldn't have sat here and done this, so it's good. I feel like it's developed me massively personally, but also in terms of my profession as a coach I've developed massively over these 2 years. Did my B licence before I came in, but I don't think at that point I felt ready to do it. I wouldn't say I fluked it, because I worked really hard to do it, but being able to put that into practice now, I actually feel really confident in the stuff I've got, the knowledge I've got, and the way I can put it across, which is really, really, really good. So yeah, it's enjoyable.
Well, you've stolen the words out of my mouth, because the next question was going to be about the TNS DNA.
Yeah.
Runs through the side from the very young ones in the academy,
Yeah.
right the way through to the first team. How rigid is it though, or how much flexibility do you have as a coach with an age group to add a little bit and maybe take a little bit away from it?
It's so great to have a structure and an identity from sevens all the way to the first team, but I feel that obviously everyone sees his DNA, and it's all about your opinion and the way that you see it. So it might be about the way we press it from the front. Might be that one team presses really, really well and really focus on that, where another team is more focused on keeping the ball a little bit more. For me, I love the intensity of pressing. I love the energy, and it really excites me. So for me, I have a real focus on that. But at the same time, everyone does. So I feel like if you look at the 7s, 8s, 9s, all the foundation phase in comparison to the development phase, there will be similarities, and it should be. But again, it's all about personally what you really want to focus on, because for our massive schedule of training 3 times a week, you can't just focus on one thing, so you've got to touch on many different things. For me, it's about keeping the ball, but also when you haven't got it, working that real intensity to win it back. So for me, that's kind of my spin, but at the same time, it's pretty much similar to everyone else. So yeah, it's a real good structure to have, and it's really good to actually play a great brand of football, but everyone sees it as the same. Everyone sees the same picture, which is really, really good, and yeah, it's enjoyable to be a part of.
And one of the things you are involved with on match days is the organisation of the mascots.
Yeah.
And I'm often there in the tunnel. Well, most games I'm there in the tunnel filming the youngsters.
Yeah, I'm running away.
and then I go out on the pitch, and then they come out as well. How important is that? Because obviously it is about the youngsters taking part in games of their own, but when they can then engage with the first team in that particular way.
Well, they look up to them. They look up to them massively. They love coming to the games, but I think as well as obviously you've got the big, it's a massive football game, there's loads of people, there's a lot going on, the floodlights quite a lot, but it's the fact that they can see what they're doing relating to the first team, and it's so good for them to see, okay, at the end of this massive cycle of years that I could potentially be one of these players, and it's just, it's aspirations for them. It's something to see, okay, I really want to wear that shirt in the future. I want to be him. I want to be in front of these fans. I want to play in Europe. So I feel like it's massive, and the amount of players that we see come in is slowly getting more and more, and I feel like it's really helping them find their aspirations and to be the best they can be, which is good.
And very often I will say to those youngsters, they're lined up, ready to go out on the pitch, who's your favourite TNS player? Yeah. And they will all have an answer. They don't have to stop and think as if they don't know the players. Yeah. So there is that definite connection between the academy and the first team.
Definitely, and so they should be, because they should definitely be looking up to the players. The things that they've done in the league and in Europe, it's a massive aspiration it should be looking up to. So it's good, really, really good.
And as an individual, now I'm going to put you on the spot, Ash.
Yeah.
As an individual, in your 2 seasons with the club, if you were to be backed into a corner and you had to name one personal highlight, what would it be?
It's been so many, but I like the European tours. I won't go even as an individual one. There's a couple, to be fair. Sometimes it's not even about the results when you're out there. It's about just the experience of being there with such big clubs. We played in one a couple of years ago against Barcelona, and we played against Athletic Bilbao, and just being there and just seeing what's going on, all the fans. It's fantastic. I think we had Bilbao players and coaches holding up the TNS flag, singing TNS songs. So that was fantastic. It's another one we went to with the under-16s a couple of months back, me and Kieran, and ended up winning that one. But it was just the off-the-pitch stuff, being able to get to know your players and the players within the academy. It's just, it's brilliant. It's a great experience for us, but as well as that, it's a great memory for the players. So it's really, really good.
Great. Sorry. Go on.
I just love going away, and just it's a challenge, because you never know what you're going to come up against, but it's also a challenge to know your players and learn new things about them, which is good, really, really good.
great experiences for you and the youngsters that go out there, but also as well, it's a big platform for the club itself.
Definitely. Just coming up against some massive teams and being competitive against them, that's the main thing. I think we've played against teams like Galatasaray, we played Spanish Giants, we played, there's loads of teams we played now, and it's crazy, it's absolutely crazy. There's some of the things that you can, I go home and I've got a little one of the little pennants from Barcelona, and it's just like, so memory for me, never mind a 7, 8, 9-year-old player who's at this moment probably doesn't realise how big that is, which is wicked. It's really, really good, and it's so impressive for us to do that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a great experience.
We've already referred to the office and the conversations that go on between the coaches. What do you prefer, desk time or being out there on the pitch with the youngsters, coaching them?
Out on the pitch, definitely. Everyone's got to do a bit of admin. You've got to just keep the pitch time there, really, and manage it all. But for me, there's nothing better than being out there. I could do it. I'd do it every day of the week, every hour of the day if I could. But yeah, it's a fantastic. You say it's a job, but it's not a job. It's brilliant, and it's just it's really enjoyable. And I hope it's enjoyable for the players as well, because I buzz off being there. It doesn't matter what age group you're with, as long as you're outside and there's a few footballs, you're fine. Yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah, it's brilliant for me to do this job, if you can call it a job. Yeah.
Well, Ash, thank you for your time today and the insight into not only what you get up to in your time with the New Saints, but also the wider academy perspective as well.
No problem, Rev. Cheers.